drive-in movie theaters could make massive comeback as crisis shuts cinemas worldwide. Old school drive-ins are enjoying a renaissance as safe and fun venues where physical distancing guidelines can still be maintained. Steve McCamley on Collector Spark. For many Americans, the drive-in movie theater is an icon of nostalgia, even for millennials and younger generations who may not have even visited these bygone cinematic venues. Drive-ins were a cherished pastime in the 1960s, allowing people to watch films projected onto the big screen while safely chilling in their private cars. However, a number of different factors ranging from the availability of color television, VCRs, and video rental shops contributed to the decline of drive-in theaters. Fast forward to this year, 2020, movie theaters across the country have been served crushing blows by the coronavirus pandemic, shuttering of non-essential businesses, and the release of such highly anticipated films including James Bond's No Time to Die, Wonder Woman 1984, Mulan have been pushed back, while over 440,000 screens across the country have gone dark for an indefinite amount of time. The crisis is forcing industry leaders, AMC and Cinemark, into dire financial straits, with the companies mulling bankruptcy or mulling the sale of an enormous amount of corporate debt. Some analysts believe that a quarter of the nation's theaters could close down for good in the course of the sharp economic downturn dubbed the Great Lockdown by the IMF. The situation faced by the industry is forcing many to look to a revival of the drive-in theater experience as a viable option that allows moviegoers to be entertained in large venues while upholding the physical distancing guidelines laid out by state authorities. Earlier this month, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said during a daily briefing that drive-ins could open soon in the state. The governor said, "Where is the public safety issue? It's a drive-in theater. You're in the car with the same people." There are currently roughly 320 drive-ins across the United States, with only 25 open for business, according to The Hollywood Reporter. And while Americans are desperate for some diversion and recreational outings, they appear to be content for now with streaming options like Netflix and Amazon Prime. Ticket sales during the crisis have been steady but not spectacular, according to the Post. And while drive-ins may have that old school charm, marquees are just as musty and old. Many theaters rely on the classics to sell tickets, while the flow of new Hollywood film dries to a trickle and summer blockbusters face an indefinite delay. Overseas, crowds have been absolutely flocking to drive-in theaters. South Korea and Germany, people are even lining up to watch the films, with crowds flocking to see both older titles and newer ones. In Germany, which has only 2 year-round drive-in venues, open-air theater Autokino Essen has managed to sell out every screening since the country's lockdown in early March. Frank Pesiak, manager of Autokino Essen, said, "It does not matter what we show, people just want to get out and watch a movie, and we're sold out weeks in advance." In Cologne, another drive-in theater is also completely booked. The theaters allow only a quarter of this 1,000 capacity lot to be used in order to uphold physical distancing rule. Meanwhile, pop-up options have proliferated to keep up with the demand for entertainment outside the home. Leo Studios, an independent theater in the town of Marl, began screening films on a 640 square foot LED screen lit up behind a Barker bar. Its premiere offering was a double bill of The Lion King and Parasite, which promptly sold out in a matter of hours. Heiko Desch of the theater chain Drive said, "In the beginning, the authorities were worried there might be a health risk, but we have not had any issues. People are told to keep in their cars except to visit the restrooms, and the entire operation is hands-free." Meanwhile, in New York, theater managers like Warwick Drive-In owner Beth Wilson hopes that her upstate drive-in cinema can have its non-essential restrictions waived. She said, "Whatever the state wants us to do, we're willing to do. We want people to enjoy going out, but in a safe environment. If you're in your car with an average family, 2 parents in the front, 2 in the kids in the back, you're sitting in the car with people you're with in the house, it's outing for them." However, if the drive-in theaters reopen across the U.S. to satisfy demands created by the pandemic, we might witness their rapid decline once the crisis subsides. Either way, most of us are hoping that we can catch a good film alongside a vibrant audience sometime in the future. This is by Elias Murat on The Mind Unleashed. It's on Collective Spark. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.